The parents of a 16-month-old boy are upset after a 300-pound robot ran over their son, and this happened at a Stanford shopping mall. This was a robot that was used for security. Let's take a look at that picture right there. So there's the robot you see on the right, and there's the bruise that happened to her child. Just to read you a quote about what happened. The mother says, quote, "The robot hit my son's head and he fell down facing down on the floor, and the robot did not stop and it kept moving forward. Luckily, there were no broken bones, but obviously we do see a pretty severe bruise on the child." The company that has made this robot has not yet responded to any emails or voicemails, and this comes from ABC News.
Because it's also made by robots. We're on to you.
Okay, so basically these robots are designed, just so you know, that they are for security, and they are designed to alert authorities over abnormal noises, sudden environmental changes, and known criminals. And then also the security guard told them that actually another child had been injured by this same robot about a week prior or a month prior. So this raises a lot of questions that we're seeing more and more in today's society about the inclusion of robots and robotic technology for security and safety purposes, because that's great, but then we also have issues like this that come up, and they can potentially be dangerous. So what do you think, Hasan? Burn the robots! Down with progress and technology and research, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
One incident, let's just ruin all of them.
Okay, first of all, it is kind of mind-boggling that we sit here and we're talking about robots and its inclusion in society. Autonomous robots. What the fuck? What happened?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
I don't know why.
I feel like it just, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for ruining my point. But anyway, so.
Robots.
Robots. Grace is going to cover the story now. But no, it's amazing. Look, I'm 100,000% behind scientific progress all the way, and I think that this will inevitably be the norm. These tedious, laborious tasks will be handled by robots in the future. It's already starting. Amazon is revamping their distribution method. They are using robots in their warehouses, and that's why they're a lot more efficient than humans are. And look, this is going to happen. There's no way to stop it. And of course, it's in its more formative, beginning stages. So there are some issues, and humans will be hurt eventually, in the beginning. But
people will have to die, but it's all in the name of
obviously.
progress.
Some people will die. When self-driving cars will inevitably lead to, especially once we kind of have this widespread mentality that we should all be using, self-driving cars, for example. There will be accidents in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way it is, though.
I agree with you. I think that we both are going to stand on the side of progress and robotic technology, absolutely continuing to do research and see where that can take us.
Because I'm Will Smith and iRobot.
Yes.
Partially why.
You wish you were that cool.
I know.
But I also think that what we need to do to support the growth of this technology is be mindful, because we are humans. We are actually smarter than robots with regards to our own personal safety. We have pain tolerances that they do not. So if we're going to start including this sort of technology in more prominent areas like a shopping mall, then it is the responsibility of us as humans to use our human thinking brain and just to there's
probably a bug. Honestly, and that's one of the problems with technology is that there are technical errors, there are bugs, there's the blue screen of death. These things will inevitably happen. It's very hard to ensure that something is 100% bug-free currently with the way we operate and debug and test things out as humans. But eventually, once artificial intelligence gets to a certain point where it can teach itself, everything else about life as we know it, eventually we will advance so quickly and so exponentially that the robots that artificial intelligence is creating won't have any bugs, won't have any human error. But again, that's the scary Skynet robots will eventually take over and kill all humans idea as well. That comes along with that.
Every day, something new to make me more paranoid.
I know, yes. Well, I like science, so
okay, but I think you make a really good point about testing. you know, it seems like this robot maybe, I mean, we don't know, but I'm gonna speculate that maybe they didn't go through the testing of what happens when a robot encounters a small child at a mall. And I think that we need to be a little bit more careful and maybe just lessen our excitement with robotic technology before we bring it out into a busy, crowded area like a shopping center. So I think that it's we have to ask for the engineers to be as thorough with their testing as possible, because
sure they
anything
were.
bad that
Look,
can happen will happen.
no.
And then we also need to be mindful of, as humans, as parents, to just be aware that we are starting to incorporate this sort of technology into our day-to-day life. So you need
fear
to,
the robot is what you're saying.
Yeah, literally adjust your behavior, because progress is great.
That's scary.
And science is awesome.
I think that's scarier than what we were talking about. Is that like that you, as a human, need to change your behavior around a robot. That's kind of like telling black people, make sure you're mindful around police officers because they will shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like readjusting your behavior around. Yeah, it's almost exactly like that.
This might be a way for white people to like finally empathize with what.
Yeah, like especially if robots for some reason are like the color white, I can't process. Like that'd be interesting to see. But
It looks like light.
yeah,
Color.
but yeah, there's like certain rules that are actually based out of science fiction for the most part. Like I think it was Asimov's 3 Rules of the Robot, which is like the first tenet is that a robot should never. What? Well, yeah. That's that's like based out of science fiction, but that is something that like people that handle robotics talk about for the most part, is that a robot cannot cause harm to another human. And then there is another rule in there where, I mean, it's scary because it's almost like police using excessive force. Again, I'm going back to that same analogy, but it's like a robot needs to protect humans at all costs. So if a human is in danger, or if one human is posing a threat to other humans, can the robot kill that human? Because it would it would completely disregard the first law, that a robot can never at any point harm another human. So security robots are good as like as like an alarm system, as something that can scan a big crowded group of people and alert the authorities if there is like a known threat there. But as far as handling humans, interacting with them, I don't even know if a robot should ever be allowed to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? Because without consciousness, without like actually having like human sentient thought, should a robot ever be able to physically handle another human?
I mean, now
it's scary. That's actually pretty scary. That's interesting.
Yeah, honestly, after hearing that, I would say no. I changed my entire opinion. I would like to now move, and I will become Amish. No, seriously, every single time we do a story about technology, you know something that I didn't know before, and then I become afraid, and then I go home and do research and put my phone on airplane mode for the rest of the night. Okay, guys, we want to hear from you in the comment section below. What do you think about this incident with the robot? What do you think about robotic technology and progress and integrating it into our daily lives? Let us know in the comment section below. And I am Grace Baldridge. This is Hasan Piker, my trusty sidekick, and we will see you next time on Pop Trigger.